expected. I was just a little bit early, so I caught some small ones.
Right.
And then the second video is a combination of some of the mid-October crappie fishing, early fall. Well, actually, right into the fall. And those videos will really show more of the catches, and they're in the same general area there at Del Holla. So I think your viewers here in Anderson, Roane, and in Campbell County and Morgan County will take a look at those. And I actually give a video of where to go to and how to fish it, and hopefully some of your viewers will get down there and give it a try and see how well they like it.
Yeah, it sounds good, Jeff. We'll get started on that here in just a few minutes. That's some good input, and we'll move into that right here in just a minute. Let's see. Want to say hello to Bill, Charlie Irwin, and all the folks that's been watching the show, and all the sponsors we've had. I don't know any other way to do this but like this. Tonight's the last show, folks. As bad as I hate to say, our sponsors have they're experiencing the economic trend of, you better watch your pennies.
It's happening everywhere.
Yeah.
It's that they call it the trickle down effect, and it's just now hitting everybody at home. I mean, from the grocery stores that we go to and do our shopping to the fuel we put in our boats. I mean, it's everything. That's as the good book says, all these things will pass, hopefully, and that'll be something we can look forward to.
Yeah. We hope to do that for sure. Brad has been really great. I don't know, I don't know if this is the 11th year or the 10th year, but we've been here for a pretty good spell. I hate for us to have to quit, but like I said, it's just hard to get the financing, to keep the show going and that kind of thing. But over the years we have had. I remember the first show we done. I came back I was working down next to Chattanooga at Sequoia Nuclear Plant, and I just got up when I'd wake up in the morning. I was on night shift, and I'd wake up and there'd be a fishing show, and those guys in Chattanooga had one going, and I got back home and talked to Brad, and just so happened it was the weekend the sportsman show in Knoxville over there was going on, and I went to Curtis down at Curtis Bunch, and then just worked my way around over top of the stairs there and got 2 or 3 people gathered, that they would help get the thing started, and that was the next thing you know. Heck, the following week we put on the first show and just moved on from there.
All of your viewers like your show. Steve, you and Mike have been at this a long time, and like you've said before, you could go to the gas stations, you can pull into a restaurant somewhere, and they say, well, there's Steve from the Let's Go Fishing show, or they'll run into Mike somewhere in Roane County, or Oliver Springs, or even in La Follette or in North somewhere in Clinton, and you all have had a great show. You've got lots of followers out there, and I know that some of your folks will probably call in tonight and wish you well and hope to see you back soon, and which I'm sure that you will maybe in the future. It's a big part of you guys.
It is.
It's been a part of your life for a long time.
Yeah,
it sure has.
And you're exactly right, Jeff. Heck, that I came over. I had a VHS recorder, and I went out fishing, and there was snow on the sides of the road. Mike was the only one crazy enough to try it, so I jumped in with him and got back over to the studio, and I handed Brad that camera, and he said, I can't show that. I said, what? He said, yes. Yeah. You got to take all this stuff off. I said, you're looking at the wrong person. I'm talking to the right person to do all that. So he fixed that thing up for me on the next go round. And,
that's good.
And cleared the screen and of all the junk that was on it, and everything worked just fine. And so I can't thank him enough. He's pulled us out 2 or 3 different times and over the years. And but anyway, back to the truth of the matter is tonight will be the last show, and I can't thank all of you enough for watching, tuning in, supporting us, whatever the means may be. Reynolds Racing and Marine. We had Bunch Marine there for a while, just on and on. Tim's Tires, Edgemore Outdoors, the old Edgemore and the new.
That's right. And the Operator Engineers Union.
Operators Engineers Union helping
David
us.
Ray, which is my cousin.
That's right.
David is a cousin of mine, and I know those guys have been with you for a long time. I mean, you work with them, and
right.
and they really have supported you. All your viewers, Steve, they'll run into me sometime, and they say, we watched that show because last weekend they'd say I was using a wrong color jig, and Steve's up there and he's telling me what color to use, and they really appreciate that, Steve.
Yeah,
they certainly do.
Yeah, it's and that's the whole bottom line. That's why we started doing what we were doing. If we could help somebody, whether it be the right different color worm, jig, spinner bait, top water plug, or whatever that we were catching fish on, and pass it on to everybody else.
That's right. That's right.
That was the whole deal.
That's the whole deal. That's right. And we try to do the same thing in our fishing as well.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes all bets are off if we're in a tournament. And say you and I are going to compete against each other, we're going to butt heads. But at the end of the day, we're the best of buddies.
That's right. Yeah. Well, that's exactly the way it is.
That's right.
We're wishing you the best of luck, and you're wishing me the best of luck, and we'll see what comes up at the weigh-in.
That's right. That's right.
And then after the weigh-in, call them on this right here. Heck,
sure.
10 foot deep, so there you go.
That's great. Great. That's what sportsmen are all about. Steve, and you grew up fishing as a kid, and I did too, and we learned that all through the years, and we have took that into our older age now, and it's a good thing for both of us, and all the other fishermen are out there as well. They'll agree to that.
Oh yeah. It's just a good place to be.
It certainly
is. I mean, the good Lord's provided us with that, with the water, and
He sure has,
and fish in the lake, and rivers, and where you might be. So it's just a good place.
We just live in such a great place. The fisheries are just all over here.
I agree.
Each of the lakes that we've got hold a special treat for every one of us.
Yeah.
You'll hear recently, you and Mike were up there catching those smallmouth and taking Bill with you, and getting those at night. And somebody is probably on Watts Bar or Melton Hill doing the same thing with other species, and we've got it made here. So we are blessed with the water that we have here in East Tennessee and beyond, especially at Del Holla. You guys go over there quite a bit, and it's just a good time to live right here in East Tennessee.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we have things, the COVID thing that kind of throws a little bit of a wrench into the system and causes some problems. And it's not only in the fishing world; it's out there in the manufacturing, and again, like we talked about, the grocery stores and our gasoline we put in the boat. But we'll get through it all. We'll get through it all again, and things will look up again someday.
Yeah. I look forward to that time, and where we can get back to doing this, and the main thing is keep fishing.
That's right. That's right.
That's the big chore right there. You got to keep fishing. That's
you always say you can't catch them sitting on the couch.
They will not bite.
They won't bite when you're sitting on the couch.
That's fact.
And and there's been days that neither one of us load the boat when we go. There's days that we won't get a bite hardly.
Right.
Then there's days that we'll go and have a real good time. But that's part of it. Is to go and have a good time and enjoy what the good Lord's give us.
That's exactly right, Jeff. Exactly right. Well, listen. Let's show some of that crappie film.
Okay, let's show the very first one. I think this one was filmed last Friday on Del Holla. Now this one's a quick one, Steve.
Fine.
And I knew that if I get down there, I might be just a little bit early on fishing because it is early fall
Yep.
fishing, and I generally don't really get into them until the middle of October. That I know one man's passion could be another man's poison, when it comes to fishing like that. But here's just a little short clip of early fall fishing, and I was just a little bit early, and I didn't get the big ones. I caught just a few little ones, but I had a good time. Got out of the house, like I say, you can't fish sitting on the couch. You got to go.
You gotta go.
Chandler, if you want to show the first early fall fishing, we'll roll that film there first. Folks, Jeffrey George Perry. Hey, let's get started doing some early fall crappie fishing. I'm going to try this little section here that I'm kind of used to. I always catch crappie here this time of year, but I'm just a little bit early. But we're going to see what's in the treetops. I usually fish the treetops, and we'll go from there. I'm on beautiful Dale Hollow Lake. It's late September. Usually wait till October to go do this, but let's give it a try and see what happens. So come on along. Let's enjoy the crappie fishing on Dale Hollow Lake. All right, folks. When you're out on the water, especially when you're by yourself, you better put that life jacket on. It could possibly save your life. All right, folks, I'm getting set up here. This is one of my usual little crappie holes here, so I'm getting the boat situated and getting ready to go. Let's see what's in here. Let's give it a try. Okay, I'm in about 16 feet of water, and the surface temperature is showing about 76 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, the ambient temperature is almost 62 degrees. We had a little cold front come through this morning, and it should prove to be a little bit challenging here today. I'm using a slip floater arrangement here today. I know everybody's got their own way of fishing these, but this keeps me from getting hung up in these treetops. So here's the first fish. One crappie. See if you can measure. All right, there's one crappie. Let's see what we got. Now this crappie is close to 10 inches, and I'm going to try every way in the world, it looks like here, to get this thing to measure, but he was just under 10 inches, probably about 9 3/4, somewhere in there. It's just not worth keeping a fish that's undersized. Plus, I like to catch the bigger ones as well. Let's get another one. He's just a little small. Put him back in here. All right. That's another one. That's two. All too little. That's another crappie. This one here is small too. They're just running kind of small. Running kind of small. Caught three so far, 3 of these crappie, but like I say, they're all running a little small. All right, folks, it's the end of the day. It's early fall. It's late September, and just as I kind of predicted, it's just a little bit early to do my fall fishing here at the Dale Hollow area where I come to. But anyway, I got 3 crappie, and they were below 10 inches, which is our regulations here in Tennessee. So I let those go back. They were 9 1/4, 9 1/2, and I think 9 3/4. One of them almost made it. But anyway, we'll get back over here and try to catch you here in the next couple of days. Jeffrey George Parrott, I had a good time. See you next time. Bye.
Okay, Jeff.
Well, like I said earlier, Steve, you can't catch them if you're sitting on the couch. You've got to go try. And when I was driving over there, it's about 90 miles from my farm to drive over there. So, all of your viewers here in the local area, they need to go over there. It's a good little drive, and it's worth going over there. It's not that far. It's actually the closest part of Dale Hollow that you can get to for your viewers here in this area. It's just west of Jamestown, right off of Highway, I think it's 52, I believe is what they call that. And so you just drop off the mountain there and go down to that area. And the boat dock that I always go to is called Eastport Marina. And it's in a little town there. Actually, they got a post office. It's called Alpine, Tennessee. So it's a good place to go to. So this next video is a combination of some fall fishing that we've done in the past, and it's actually in the month of October. So as you've seen in this first video, I felt like I was just a little bit early. Now, depending on where you fish and how you fish, some folks will say, well, Jeff, you just don't know. They're still biting now. Well, that's true. But where I always go, they were just a little bit early, and they were, as you've seen from the video, they were just a little bit small. So this next video here is actually a little more enjoyable. It shows some catches, and it's a combination of some things that happens in the month of October at Dale Hollow Lake. So Chandler, if you want to go ahead and show the next one, it's crappie time in Tennessee.
Yeah, there we go.
Hey, Paul Parrott, what time of the year do you think this is?
It's crappie time.
Well, that's right, folks. You heard it. It's crappie time in Tennessee, especially on Dale Hollow Lake. So come on along with me, and I'll show you a lot of the little clips and a lot of fun that we've had in the past on early fall fishing on Dale Hollow Lake. We have a great time every time we go down there. We fish a section that we know that we can catch fish at, and it is just around the corner. It's usually in mid-October. So let's check out some of the fishing that we do here on Dale Hollow Lake. Early fall fishing, crappie time in Tennessee.
What a great trip we've had today. I think we've got 12 or 13 keepers. We've caught probably 16, 17. Had 3 or 4 throwbacks. It's going good. What time is it? Middle of the day. We started about 8:30, 9 o'clock Central Time. So we're in the middle of the day. We're still catching fish. So they're in tight to the cover. We're going to catch some more. I think we've got 12, 13 keepers. We'll check back in a little later on.
All right, folks, in the fall of the year, we always use live bait. We do fish some plastics in the springtime, but we like using live bait. And you can see here by the stringer, we just catch them and try to get enough for a mess. We don't go down there with the intention of catching 15 a piece and bringing back 30 crappie back home. We get just enough to have our friends and family over for a little fish fry. We always enjoy that. Now, I'm using a slip floater method, and everybody uses their own technique, but that's the technique that I generally use. Folks, whatever method you use or whatever works for you, best is what you need to try. Just get on out there and do some crappie fishing. Take your family, your kids along. Just enjoy yourself on a good fall crisp day, because we get those every year, and I think you'll really enjoy crappie fishing in Tennessee in the early fall. All right, folks, let's give you some views from Parrot 1, the drone that I use to capture a lot of video with. I'm at the Eastport Marina on Dale Hollow Lake. It's located in what's called Alpine, Tennessee. It's just west of Jamestown, and it's a great place to come to for crappie fishing. Now, this scene you're looking at here is westward toward Sunset Bay. The Eastport Marina is located on the Obi River, both east and west, and I'll show you our section coming up next. All right, folks, this is a section that we fish in. If you'll take a look at the upper part of the video here, there's a little cut through that you go through, and it's called Rock House Cove. This is part of the East Fork Obi River section. Great fishing up there, great structure to be found. Folks, as you enter the Rock House Cove, which is on the upper part of the video here, it's quite shallow, but once you get back there, it opens up to at least 14 to 18 feet deep in places, and that's where the structure is located at. The back of this hollow is fed by a freshwater creek, so there's always a lot of good water coming in to the Rock House Cove that you're looking at right now. All right, folks, heading back in to the marina section, don't forget to fish some of these deep water access bluffs. The treetops are in there, and the fish are in there as well. Should be between 30 and 35 feet deep. Give it a try. All right, folks, this is where you launch at, and as you can see, it's a tight little launch ramp. But if you'll get down there early enough on a Saturday morning, or take off and do a weekday trip, you can get your boat in just fine. Once again, I'm Jeff Parrott, and I appreciate Steve Cox, Let's Go Fishing, to have me on the show tonight. Get out there and do some fall fishing. Get out there and catch those fall crappie here in Tennessee.
All right, Jeff, good looking fish you had on the stringer.
A lot of fun, just lots of fun. I love to bass fish, and my brother and I, we both walleye fish quite a bit, but there's nothing like catching a mess of crappie and having your buddies over for a fish fry, or your family, and it's just a good, clean fish to eat and catch. Those are the ones we catch and keep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. There's no question about that. Heck, you can't throw them keeper fish back.
That's right.
You want to eat them.
That's right. As we were talking off camera, now in the springtime, it's a little different. The water's always up. At this time of the year, I think I checked it last Friday prior to me going down there on the first video. I think that TVA Corps of Engineers dropped it down about 10 feet. So what you were seeing on there is what is going on down there right now. And that will soon start going down more. And eventually that little peninsula you've seen right there will close up, and you'll have to go somewhere else to find a place to fish. But, your viewers can drive down there. It's, about 90 miles, and go down there and show those Middle Tennessee folks down there that us East Tennessee boys can catch a few crappie.
Yeah, I heard that. Yes, sir. That's a fact. And, like you said, the dang water keeps going, and you never, from here on out, more than likely, Dale Holler is going to be dropping.
It is. It sure is. Well, the same thing now is going on. I know that both of us fish Norse a lot.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I ran my boat up there about 2 weeks ago, and there's very few places anymore on Norse Lake that you can catch crappie, and I'll go ahead and name those. You'll agree with me. Number one is Lost Creek.
Yeah.
You guys fish up there for smallmouth close to that. The other one is Sycamore Creek. Okay, and then on the Cove Creek section, you got to go all the way up to Twin Cove and fish what they call the Vasper Holla, and fish all the way up through there under the trestle toward what's called the Little Dam that separates Cove Lake and Norse Lake. Those are 4 good locations for crappie on Norse Lake. Now, it wasn't like it used to be when we were kids. We'd all go out there and we'd catch crappie. We'd get a boatload when we were kids, and it slowly went down. But you can catch some crappie on Norse if you know where to go and know what to throw.
Do you think it's live bait more than the plastics?
In the fall of the year, they're a little bit they are finicky. They want to bite a live minnow, and that's what we use. And as we were talking again off camera, you can still catch them on the little what they call the standard crappie minnow. We like using the next size up. It's a medium size. It's a medium toughie. The reason being is that you get more cast out of that live bait as opposed to the smaller gulpy size of the little. They're two casts and they're dead.
Yeah.
They need to be hitting the water and they need to be moving. They need to be moving around, and we do that in the fall. Now, as opposed to the spring, you can use your Bobby Garlands, you can use your Mr. Twisters, both white, and you can also use the chartreuse, and you can use the marabou jig type style in the spring too.
Yeah. All right, that's some good info for sure. And Jeff wouldn't tell you that if he hadn't been catching them fish in them 4 or 5 places.
That's
So,
right. That's right. Well, I tell you
put
what,
right on them. I mean, that's the bottom line.
it is. I want everybody to have a good time. I mean, you know, we play music as well. Everybody knows us as the Parrott Brothers, and I have my buddies will come up and say, well, could you teach me how to play a guitar? And I'll show them 3 chords. I'll show them G, C, and D. And I said, guys, that's how it's done, and you take it from there. Same way with fishing. If I could help a person out, tell them where to go and have a good time, take their kids, their mom or dad, nephew, whatever, and just go and enjoy themselves. That's what it's all about.
Ain't no 2 ways about it. That's it. That's it. All right. I've got a little bit of film I shot a couple of weeks ago. Had my sister Kathy with me and her husband Mike, and so we're going to get into that, and we'll come back and talk about what you get to see on the TV here. All right, Chandler, do your thing, brother. Folks, I'm up here with Mike Russell and my sister Kathy. Mike, her husband, and got a good largemouth right there. I mean, a dandy. And let me get some. Yeah, right there's a real good picture. All right, Cat, you can throw him back in the water, buddy. Just turn him loose. He'll go. Yeah. Well, you're going to mash my eyes down on my rod. That's why I just toss him out there. You don't have to. Yeah, you done good. All right. Okay, we're here on the lake, and that's our first bite. Remember our sponsors, and remember, let's go fishing. Jerk when they bite, Kathy. You got to jerk when they bite. All right, here we go. Let's get another. All right, folks. There's our second fish in the boat. Mike Russell had a good one on. He got off, and Kathy had a big fish on, and it jumped off. So we're getting a few bites. We're going to stick it out here a little bit longer and see if we can come up with some fish. All right, I am back to water. Mincy Mike got one. He's got one. Mike Russell's got one. All right, here we go.
Give me the dip net.
I'll wait till he gets it around here on the side of the boat. I'll kick the boat around. Hold on, what you got? Gone? Golly bum. That gum. All right, folks, there we are with another fish. That's number 3 in the boat, and they've missed about 6, so we're doing good. I just hope they keep getting bites. All right, Kathy Ann, back in the water with you. Good deal. Get you another. All right, folks, our Kathy has got one herself in here now. That a girl, Kathy Ann.
Good job.
Yeah, let me get a little, turn him a little sideways. There you go. Now, that's a good picture right there.
First fish in 4 years.
All right, back in the water with him.
I better kiss him.
Yeah. All right. God dang it.
That they are.
Yeah, he's got my lens fogged up.
Need my rag.
No, there we go. Yeah, it's a good one, Kathy Ann. That's a nice one.
Mm-hmm.
Back in the water with him. Okay. All right, there's Kathy with another good smallmouth.
On my reel.
Yeah, she done good. Had to pull it in by hand. The spool front popped off, and she had to pull it in by hand. Done good, Kathy.
Thank you.
All right, let's get a good picture of him here. Good fish, man. That's a nice one. All right, back in the water.
God, keep it.
Back in the water.
Look what you did,
Yeah,
big baby. You have to throw your tantrum.
go. All right, folks. Our Mike Russell has got a good smallmouth in the boat now. Look how fat that rascal is. Boy, that's a good, pretty fish. Back in the
That's
water
pretty.
with him. Get another one, Mike Russell.
You want to see him, honey?
Just drop him. Just drop him. All right, there you go. Had Kathy and Mike with me there, Jeff.
What a good time. Those look great.
Yeah, we, there was some nice fish, and the sad part about it is, heck, they had 3 or 4 to jump off that was as big as anything we'd got in the boat, and probably bigger.
I tell you, those are good fish. As Bill would say, that's a good fish, old buddy.
Yeah, exactly right. And heck, I had them both had spinning rods, and I put 3/16 or no, a 1/4 ounce on one rod and a 3/8 head on the other rod, and they were bucktail flies and hair flies, and put them a little 101 chunk on there, and heck, they was having a ball, and just couldn't get the fish in, We had 3 or 4 to jump off right there next to the boat and all that kind of stuff, but we really had a good trip.
Oh, yeah.
And just tickled to death. I usually try to take him at least one time during the summer, and we just barely did get this trip in.
Did you use the same color jig throughout the night, or did you switch up a little bit?
I had one of them had a black with some blue in the bottom of it, and I put a black tiny chunk on it, and the other one had a black and blue, and then the other one had black and red.
Oh, okay.
And with a little red hair in the bottom of it, and put them a black chunk on it, and they both caught fish,
Okay.
So
Good.
I'm not complaining a bit, and we had a real good, enjoyable trip.
That just looked like fun to take your sister out, and just get out there and have some fun and catch some fish. I guarantee you had a good time.
Yeah, we did.
Did y'all stay real late that night?
No. About 1 o'clock, we went and put the boat on the trailer, and it was real good. But and I knew the fish. I felt like the fish hadn't changed much as far as depth wise. So they, we had a bite or two that's probably 22, 26 feet. But the most of them came out there in about 30, 31 foot.
Well, that's some good fishing.
Yeah, so
That's some good fishing.
that was kind of the deal, and so it's the weather's changing, and I don't know. Here, dadgum, this rain's supposed to move in here Saturday.
Oh, I know. I've watched some YouTube videos and checked out both CNN and Fox News, both, and they were showing just some devastation through Florida, and it will get some effects of it probably tomorrow, I would think.
Yeah, that's kind of what they're thinking at work also, and if it wasn't for that coming in here, I'd like to go Saturday night.
I know you would. I know you would.
I don't know that we'll get to. It just depends on the weather. But we really did. We had a good trip, and you just, like I said, just took them on a whim, and we put it off for. I had started to do it for 2 or 3 weeks before that, and didn't get the opportunity. So anyway, we had a good little trip.
Good time. I was out riding my motorcycle that day, and I seen you from a distance there, and I knew where you were going, and I said, well, I'm gonna try to catch you. And I know y'all were in a hurry, and I'm on that motorcycle trying to catch you, and I said, well, maybe that light will turn red, and it did. And I pulled up beside of you and kind of eased my helmet back so you could see who I was, and I think that might have surprised you all. But I wish I was going with you that night instead.
Yeah, Kathy said, there's some guy out here waving his hands. And I looked over my shoulder and I seen, and I said, that's Jeff, I guarantee it.
That's a lot of fun to see you guys.
Yeah, we enjoyed seeing you and that kind of thing.
Was there a lot of people out fishing that night?
No, they was maybe 8 or 9 boats in the fishing boats, and then there was probably 6 or 8 pontoon boat trailers sitting there, you know, and that kind of thing. So
Well,
it wasn't really crowded.
Okay, good. Well, it kind of appears that us locals have got the lake back then a little bit. That's okay.
That's okay.
That's okay.
Yeah, like to pull in there whenever there's plenty of parking places.
That's all right. It's nice. It's good. It's a good place to go to out there. The Lost Siege, y'all fish the islands and some of the usual places you guys go.
Usual places. The lower end of Pilot Island, down towards the boat dock, and on some of those islands down through there, and just pick their fish up here and there, you know. And like I said, they missed several.
That's good.
That kind of thing.
When that water temperature cools down a little bit, you guys will be hitting it during the daytime then.
Yeah.
It won't be long.
No, that's a fact. To be on that buzz bait. As a matter of fact, I think they got a tournament up there this coming month, haven't they?
I think maybe I heard something about that.
Yeah. I forgot what tournament it was.
And I was told that young fellow there that the high school kid there was in a tournament, done real well. I can't remember what tournament it was, but it was here just recently.
Yeah.
One of those fellows there we had talked about on one of your previous shows.
Right, right.
So that's good. It's good to know that the lake is cooling down a little bit. We know it's cooling outside right now. It's certainly cool tonight. It was last night and the night before.
Yeah. Buddy, I tell you what, Mike and I and Brad Lockett, we went to Norris one night, and I'm talking about here I came home from work, and it was already dark, getting dark when I got home. And I said, daggone it. The moon was full, the lake was down, the fog coming off the water. We put the boat in, I don't know, it was about 8 o'clock, I guess, 8:30. And my wife, she couldn't believe it when I told her. She said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Well," I said, "as quick as I can get me some warm clothes on, I'm going to the lake."
I know you are.
And
you deserve to. You work all the time, you know. You deserve that.
And heck, this was back years ago. And I said, so I got on the phone, and I called Mike, and I said, "Mike, I'm putting my warm clothes on, putting them in the truck. I'm going to hook to the boat." I said, "Are you in or out?" He said, "I'm in." I said, "Okay." And I called Brad Lockett. I said, "Brad," I said, "me and Mike's going to the lake. Are you in or out?" He said, "I'm in." I said, "Well, we'll be out there to pick you up in about 30 minutes.
All right.
And so I picked Mike up, and got his stuff in the boat, and I went out to Brad's house, picked him up. And like I said, it was about 8 or 8:30 before we got in the water. And man, we had one of the dangest times that night. I mean, it was just unreal. And caught 4 big walleye on that little old peanut jig.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, yeah, and them suckers wasn't in 6, 8, 10 foot of water.
Oh man. Oh.
And caught 4 big walleye, and I don't know what the fish, the smallmouth we caught that night, throwing that little old peanut jig. Moon just out bright, and a little bit of fog coming off the water, and caught 2 or 3 fish on a spinner bait, and the rest of them on that little old who's with a little old peanut jig, that fine rubber on it. I can't think the old gentleman's name. Is over in down there on the interstate going out of on 75 there on the right. Joe Paul.
Okay.
Joe Paul is exactly what his name was, and him and his daddy tied them jigs up. Gosh almighty, and I don't know what the dozens of them that I'd bought from them over the years. But anyway, that fishing trip was just one of them never forget.
Oh,
you know,
those
type
that's
deals.
right.
And so we had a ball, and heck, it was, I don't know. Anyway, the last thing that happened was throwed out there, Mike got hung up. We was fishing right around Dollar Island right there, and he throwed out there and got hung up. Well, I took the trolling motor and pulled us over there, you know, thought we'd just drop that plug retriever on that thing and knock it right loose. Dadgum, if he didn't get the retriever, the plug, or the lure, the retriever hung up on that stump that he was on down there. We fooled with that for 30 minutes.
And you just want to go back catching some fish.
Yeah, I want to keep fishing.
We've done the
Mike,
same
what
thing.
the heck? Yeah.
He didn't want to lose that jig.
No, and the bad thing about it was, he said, I can't, he said, it's hung up on whatever's down there, and I can't get it loose. So I said, okay, tie that line on the eyelet on the front of the boat, and I'll back up with the motor. Well, when I did, pop. So there we it's
all
gone.
that time.
About 4 o'clock in the morning, I said, it's over.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Y'all's aggravated by then.
Yeah, time to go.
Been there and done that. I know. It sounds like you and your brother are a lot like me and my brother. We've done the same thing before.
Yeah, I said, too much for that. So anyway, we took off and laid the rods down, put everything up and run down to the boat ramp and put the boat on the trailer and headed to the house. But we had a real good trip.
That's part of it, yeah.
And but you know, crazy things like that happen.
That's right, it does.
But they were biting good. And this was in December. This was the first. Yeah. You'd think. And it was one of them nights where, you know, the temperature was only going to be in the low to mid 40s.
Well, you know, it being in December and closing in on Christmas, did you buy Mike some new lures for his Christmas
No,
present?
I did. I told him he'd have to make him some. But, you know, that was a good trip, and it was, you know, just, like I said, I got home coming in from work, and the moon was just coming up, and I said, golly, bum. I knew right then I was going to go fishing, you know. So I made the phone calls and hooked the boat up and got ready to go, and we had a ball. And it was just a good trip.
Can't beat times like that.
Can't beat it. There's no way.
No.
I mean, it's just a deal. But you know, the bait, the fish the water was cool. I think maybe in the 50s, and that's why the fog was coming up, and the fish were biting good. Wow. So heck, we just stayed as long as we could.
Well, those walleye you took home, that made a big difference too. That made the trip
that
right
made
there.
The trip. You ain't kidding, buddy. I'm telling you.
It's amazing, you know, we go out there and catch some walleye. We don't have to go to Minnesota to catch them. We can get them up there, can't we?
Well, and the thing about it was, them walleye come on that little peanut.
Ain't that something?
I know.
I've caught them on spinnerbait before.
Oh, heck yeah. Sure.
I mean, me and a buddy of mine, we'd sit in the garage in the wintertime and tie them up, and spring roll around, we'd catch them on a spinnerbait.
Yeah.
Looks like you got a caller coming in.
It looks like we have. Let's see who we got here. Let's see. Hello, caller.
Hey, Steve, this is Charlie. I thought I'd call in.
I'm glad you did, Charlie.
It pains me to hear that's going to be your last show, though.
Yeah, it pains us too, Charlie, but there ain't much we can do about it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Maybe it'll work out in a few days so you can come back with it.
Well, I hope I'm leaving that option open. You know, it's just about the economy right now. Everybody's kind of holding on to their, you know, their money, and I understand that.
I've got that peach on myself.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I'm not going to close the door, and you know, I'm hoping that later on we can maybe get started back, and
that sounds like a plan.
Yeah. So
yeah, I really enjoyed old Jeff on there tonight. He had some good fun in there too. So.
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Did. Yes, sir.
You're mighty welcome, buddy.
Yes, sir. Yeah, he could have brought us a mess of them fillets.
Yeah, some of them hush puppies to go with it, you know.
Yeah. We stop at a drive-through and get the hush puppies and French fries, but I do have the crappie in the freezer, Charlie.
Oh,
I hear you.
I hear you. But Charlie, listen, man, it's good to have you calling in, and I appreciate you. And you know, we're just kind of going to play it by ear here, and I'm going to keep asking people, you know, if they want to get on and sponsor us, and maybe go.
Well, I'll still keep my Let's Go Fishing thing in my truck with me and wear my hat.
That'd be good.
And, yeah, like Jeff said, these people run into you everywhere and ask about that.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. That's a fact.
Hey, and too, before I forget it, I heard that Mike had a tragedy in his family there.
Yeah.
I wanted to give him my condolences on that. That's sad there.
Well, I'll count on me passing it along, Charlie. I will. Mike, he's kind of withdrawn right now, and it's very
I'm sure,
understandable. And so I'll pass on your condolences on my way home.
All righty, buddy. I appreciate it.
All right,
You
man.
get a chance, bring that back on there.
Okay, buddy.
Have old Jeff come back too. I had really enjoyed that tonight.
Thank you, sir. It's
All
a
right,
pleasure
buddy.
being on here with Steve.
We'll try to get him back.
All righty then. You have a good one then.
Okay, Charlie. Thank you, brother.
Bye-bye.
Hello, you've reached the Channel 12 News Department.
Hello, caller. Still got the wrong one. Hello.
Hey,
Hey.
Papa, we just wanted to call in and tell you we're proud of you.
Well, I'm proud of you too, man.
Yeah, I got Harper. We're sitting here watching.
Yeah. All righty. That's good. I thank you for calling.
All right, tell Papa you love him. Love you, Papa.
I love you, Harper.
Good job.
Bye.
Good job.
All right. Good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Okay.
That's all right.
That's all right.
Yes, sir. Henry.
But folks, do remember, Reynolds Racing, Edgemore Outdoors, just all the people. There's Pamela Ann's Fudge and Candies there in Oliver Springs, just all those fine people that helped us make it over the years. We appreciate those doing their thing, and I'm not holding any hard feelings at all about anything, because there's Tim's Tires. It's the economics of the country right now. So
That's right. I mean, it is, Steve. For a fact, I do some light electrical work for a buddy of mine, and he puts in these lakefront trams that are real steep properties, and I do his electrical controllers for him about once a month and help him out a little bit. And he's even having trouble getting pieces and parts. It's everybody.
It's everybody.
It's everybody.
Everything. I mean, anywhere where you go is there's issues with what you need. We've had Caterpillar Stowers out of Knoxville bring us another machine because the one that was broke down, they didn't have the parts fixed.
That's right.
So, all that's going on. Hello, caller.
Hey, Steve and Jeff. How y'all doing?
Good. We're doing good, Mr. Pennington. How about you?
I'm doing really good.
Perfect.
Sitting here just kind of really dreading to hear what's going on.
I appreciate that, Mike. I really do. It's just like we're talking here. It's economics of the country right now, and all we can hope and pray for is that things will get better and we can get back on the show.
Well, that's true. It's been a pleasure and an honor that I got to meet both of you.
Yeah.
Same here, Mike.
Same here.
Certainly, Mike.
Yes, sir. Sure is, buddy.
This flag back here behind us, we still got a good country, Mike. We're going to keep it that way.
Yeah. For sure.
Well, let's hope so anyway.
Well, we're going to do our best. I know you will too.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to call in and tell you I've been watching the show, trying never ever to miss it if I can't. But y'all got my number, so give me a shout.
All right, Mike. We appreciate you, buddy. I surely do, man.
See y'all.
See ya, bud.
You got a lot of people that watch this show, Steve.
I know.
I mean, they're everywhere I go, I'm guilty by association.
Yeah.
They'll ask about, what color is he going to use this night? I said, well, you need to call in and ask him.
Yeah. That's the whole deal.
Yeah, a lot of people recognize you.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate each and every one of them, and for sure, and like I said, it's the economics of the thing right now, and we're going to keep beating the bushes and running into people, and if we can advertise for them and make it worthwhile, hopefully we'll have a return trip over here.
I hope so.
And we'll see how that works out.
Well,
And,
lots of times, sometimes it don't get worse. It has to get better.
right.
Even the fishing part
Yeah.
of it, So things will work its way out, and it always seems to.
Yeah. But there again, I can't thank Brad and Chandler enough, for over the years. They've done real good about taking care of us and making us a good place to have a show and that kind of thing.
They do a great job.
They do a great
And all
job.
your sponsors, every time I go into
Yeah.
Edgemore, I try to spread a little love over there and buy some lures and things,
Yep.
and they all ask about you, and it's just a good thing that we're all kind of networked here together.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And like I said, my union brothers they're on the screen right now. Appreciate them helping us out here the last 2 or 3
Absolutely.
years.
I look back on I worked with the union for 30 years, and they made me. They made my career.
Yeah.
We all got along great together. We just enjoyed. Some of us even went fishing together a lot of times. We were all good friends and good buddies.
Right. But heck, you just thinking back. There was a couple of bait stores down, one of them there in Kingston that I had for a few months, and we had Donna Joe down at Rockwood there for a few months, and just on and on. As the economy was good, the people was able to put up the money to keep us going, and as it got bad, it kind of withered away.
That's right. I know.
That's about the deal of it.
You've got everything in the world, you and Mike, to be proud of on such a great show for a number of years.
Yeah.
And people are going to even talk about this long after we're out here. Because you guys have really made an impact on this area, all 4 or 5 counties right in here where this broadcast is shown, and people watch it all the time. Like Charlie and Mike calling here. There's numerous. I've got a couple of texts here from some of my buddies. And they're just thanking you. Just said, tell Steve, thank Steve for us. So I think you need to look up.
Yeah,
It's all good.
I am tickled pink because of the show has been on as long as it has, and it was just a thought I had. I called Sherry when I said, when I get home, I said, you're not going to believe what I'm going to do. Well, probably not. I said, I'm going to try to get the fishing show on the TV over at BBB Communications.
Mm-hmm.
Well, do you think you can? I said, well, I don't know if I can or not, but I said, I'm going to find out when I get home. And so I got laid off right after Christmas. We had finished up the job and sent home right after, I think it was the 28th of December or something like that. And anyway, I came right home and started, like I said a while ago, they was going to have the fishing telethon over in Knoxville there at Jacob's building, and I went to talking to people, and next thing you know, we had it going. And it just been good ever since. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I enjoyed every Thursday night over here, because they was some of them Thursday nights I wanted to be on the lake.
Well, I understand. There's lots of. When they're biting, it's kind of hard to not.
Well, that's exactly what the deal was.
That's right.
Some of them times I wanted to be fishing.
You got it. You got it.
Oh Lord, yes. And I said, "Dadgum!" And they was several times I've pulled my boat over here and get up from behind this seat and be out there in the truck hollering, "Let's go, Wes, we got to go."
That's right. No, that's right. That's good.
So it's another good. That's another good thing that I'm proud of is old Wesley, my grandson, and he's been a trooper, and he's took care of Papaw, and as he got older and bigger and all that, he could run the trolling motor and back the boat in and load the boat up for me and all that kind of stuff. It's just been a blessing to have him here over the years.
Well, that's real good. Steve, I want to say one thing. It wasn't all on me learning to fish. I learned by watching your show to try to figure out what colors to use over the years. And now I'm here with you tonight And again, I want to thank you from the
Hey,
bottom of
well.
my heart. You're just like a brother to me. I feel like I've known you for years now. And,
I appreciate that.
and thank you again for having me here on your show. And I hope maybe in the future I can come back again and do this with you again. And, I do want to say hello to your brother Mike.
Yeah.
And wish him the best. And maybe us guys can get together and do some fishing together sometime in the near future.
I'm looking forward to it. I really am. And I thank you, Jeff, for helping us out here and being on the show when we could and that kind of thing. But, it's been a pleasure. It really has. And as far as I guarantee you, there's this, like I told you all about Mike taking a dadgum Sharpie and painting the back of his bait, whatever it was he had on there, and buddy, it wasn't just a cast or two he was catching, and I'd have never thought. But it's just funny, them fish.
I know.
You
never
the
know.
least little old thing can make a difference.
That's right.
But if you're, I love the night fish because of the temperature. You take it 95 degrees in the shade in the summertime. You go out there, and by 10 o'clock, it's down to 75, 70 degrees, and just a lot more comfortable, and a lot of the boat traffic is gone.
That's right. I spent my daytimes this summer
Yeah.
mowing my fields and stuff. It was hard to keep up with it, and I was thinking, what am I doing out here? I need to be taking a nap and going fishing with you
Yeah.
on point 19, at night.
Right, that's exactly right. It's good, and really is. I like fishing. I always have liked fishing up there, and shucks, I thank Mr. Beal for that. In 1972, we followed. Mike and I were Dad had a little fiberglass boat with a 20-horse Mercury on it, and we followed them out past Dollar Island across the lake over there, just a little bit before dark, and right quick, Bill said, "Now listen." So we ain't gonna be back here till about daylight, and you boys better be right here when we get back. Okay. Well, heck, we took a nap and everything in the world and fished, and then the next morning here they come, and we followed them back into Hickory Star, and went to bed. But that's part of it. We really enjoyed it. Been fishing it ever since. So, listen, folks, it's about time to sign off. I really do appreciate all of your all's response and just appreciate each and every one of you. And God bless you, and be safe, and we'll see you no telling when.
Good show.
Thank you, buddy. All right. Hey, folks. We're over here at Edgemore Outdoors and got Vance back here. They've got a new selection of, what is this called now, Vance?
This is all queen tackle.
Queen tackle, okay.
It's all tungsten. They got tungsten weights.
Let's go fishing. It's really great. Let's go fishing. In the rivers and on the lakes. Let's go fishing. It's easy when you try. Floating on the water with good old Steve in mind.